Hello, everyone. Welcome to the July event of Startup Grind Kolkata. And this particular event is very, very special for me because today we not only complete 3 months of Startup Grind Kolkata, but it is also a hat trick in terms of where we have the third women presenter here. So I have successfully managed to have women entrepreneurs, women powerhouses here for the past 3 months, all women, and I hope that we can have more and more women on this platform. So today we have with us a wonderful woman called Debeshi. So Debeshi is a gold medalist designer, Commonwealth Scholar London, ex-Fortune 500 leadership coach at Landmark Education, and founder of Design Careers, which is again a women-led organization and India's first career story coach.
Right.
So in 2020, she won a national level award in education that is called as hashtag Her Rising Award 2020 by hashtag Jobs for Her, which is India's largest online career platform, Women. She also designed her own second career unlinked to her educational background, being the founder of Design Careers Global Private Limited in 2016 in Gurgaon, India. In this 5 years, she has developed her career story method and trained more than 12,000 professionals, including Fortune 500 CXOs, CHROs from Pepsi, PepsiCo, Siemens, EY Digital Vidya, Channel Play, and many more. So her expertise has developed from real experience, and she has had an experience of 16 years in India, United Kingdom, Southeast Asia, in various public, private, ranging from MSME to NYSE, which is listed in Fortune 500 organization. Now, Debeshi lives in Gurgaon, but she says she belongs to the world.
The world.
Welcome,
Thank
Debeshi.
you so much. Thank you so much, Suchishmita, for having me here. It's always a privilege to be able to inspire and inform people who are taking the same journey. And I always feel that my job is to make it easier for who are coming after me. Okay, so whatever I know, I give out to the world, and the vision with which I do all this is called Grow to Give. So one hashtag, is hashtag Grow Numeric to Give, with which you can find me and my work. Let's get started. So share my screen and let me know if you can see it. Can you see my entire screen? Is it visible? So Chishmita, is it visible to everybody?
Yes, yes, absolutely.
Okay, great. So let's get started with the presentation, the mini workshop, and as I said that my job is to make it easy for everyone, and to make it easy, it means that you should be able to do it on your own. DIY, like do it on your own skills. So what we're going to do is that, and I understand the audience is all rising entrepreneurs, people who are solo entrepreneurs, people who might be starting their maybe the first time entrepreneurs. You might be starting without any funding, bootstrap, wherever you are in whatever state of your entrepreneurship journey. Let's take the first step, because that's a most difficult most step, and I'm going to help you design it. Okay, so when I say design, what I mean, I'll come to that, but let me share about my story. So the girl that you see in the white beard is me. I was in my sixth standard, and I was born and raised in Kolkata in a very creative
Did
and
you change the slide, because we can still see the cover slide? So if you have changed
I
it,
yes,
because you
I have
mentioned,
changed it.
yeah, so we are not
Yeah.
able to see that yet. It's still
Can you
shows
can
slide
you
one.
see the third slide?
No.
Me? No. Okay. Let me see what's happening
Yes,
here.
now we can. Now we can.
Okay, okay, I get it. So you're not able to see the full screen, but
No,
okay,
it's in the.
no, no, no.
Yeah, yeah.
Got it. No worries. So let me show it this way. That's absolutely fine. Okay, yeah. So The girl that you see in the white beard, that's me in my sixth standard. And I was born and raised in Kolkata in a very creative environment where I happened to be a part of a literary club called Shondesh, which, the editor was Satyajit Ray and three generations of his family. And in sixth standard, when Gulf War was going on, I wrote a letter to Saddam Hussein. Actually, I went to my mother and asked, war is bad. How can I end it? She said, write a letter to Saddam Hussein. So I wrote it. She said, why only Hussein? Write it to George Bush. I wrote it. She told me, go into to your teacher and get the English corrected. She saw and said, let me take it to the principal. The principal saw the letter and said, let's take it to Mother Teresa and let's give it to Saddam Hussein and George Bush through Mother Teresa. That led to a mini movement in the school. So all the girls started writing letters of peace, making peace cards for the same. And I clearly remember it was an early Wednesday morning. Three or four of us went and met Mother Teresa. I was in sixth standard and Mother Teresa was still shorter than me. We bowed, we gave her the card. She saw my card and said it was cute. And after 3 months, the war ended. With that confidence that even as a child, I can do anything, I can have an impact in the world, that made me unstoppable and fearless. So I applied for Commonwealth scholarship, like after finishing my architecture from Jadavpur University, and went to London. Actually, I got three scholarships: Commonwealth Shared, Shavening Cambridge, and Bath International. When I went there, I was sitting in this auditorium full of almost 1,000, students from different countries. One name which was taken, which changed my life. It was Mahatma Gandhi's name. We were asked to stand up. And that day, for the first time, I understood what it means to be an Indian and what one person can change and have an impact in the world. So that made me work on projects which are way bigger than me what I've thought of. I worked in London Olympics, worked in a borough in London where, the London Olympics was happening, worked in mega projects with the Fortune 500 company I was in. So all the red places that you see on screen I've lived or worked, and the rest is going to be red soon because I am working globally. So currently, I live in Gurgaon and I am the founder of Design Careers. So till 2016, I was designing smart cities, and I now design smart citizens like you. So feeling inspired, feeling, you want to do the same. So this is, I've been covered in different, magazines, and the number is wrong. The number has increased. Last year, I was nominated for an award, and I have mentors and people, cheerleaders, and my clients who have endorsed what I think of, my non-conformist view. I'm the first entrepreneur in my family of educators. And yes, I won the award. So between 2016 till 2020, what made me come here? The first step. And that's what I'm going to share it with you. Okay, ready everyone? So what we're going to do is we are going to look into three things, right? So that it's about you, it's about your brand story, and that how it can be created, right? So the three things that we're going to cover is why designing your career as an entrepreneur is very important. Like typically it's a myth that career is for the corporate. No, the the best sports person, they have a career. The best film actors, the best politicians, everybody, and interestingly, they have a career longer than the ones who are working in corporate. So all entrepreneurs, they have a career. And why it's called design, I'll come to that. Then we'll quickly look into the elements of the toolkit. When I say career design toolkit, and as I said that, it has to be DIY. because I'm a Bengali, I'm going to leave you with the process of fishing. I'm not going to give you the fish. So Chishmita is going to get what I mean. It's a part of our culture that we leave you with a process so that you can do it on our own. So the first thing is that, why design your career? Most of you must be familiar with, planning your career, career counseling, right? But why design? Okay. So if you think of the word design, the first thing which might come to you might be something which is pretty, something which is, having high terms of aesthetics. But design is not art. That's the first most important difference which is there. So when I talk about design, I talk about what Steve Jobs means of design. It has to be functional. If your chair doesn't have proper design, it's going to hurt. If your car is not properly designed, you're going to have an accident. Similarly, if your career is not designed, it's not going to have a story. A plan is a data, a design has a story. So that's why the designer clothes are more expensive than the other ones. Got it? So, what we're going to do is that we're going to talk about it today, and I'm going to give you a perspective why, right now in 2021, designing your career is important. So, most of you, our generations of previous generations, the baby boomers, they had a very conventional career, right? And it was a 9 to 5 job. So you would know, if you start from point A, you will reach point B. If you are a chartered accountant, your life is going to be like that. If you are a doctor, your life is going to be like that. And they were very, defined and constricted, career design pathways. You are here and your goal is there. If you just, uh, uh, follow the roadmap, it was linear. But with globalization, I would say, or with the pandemic, everything has been disrupted. We are in a gig economy right now. Nobody wants to hire permanent, employees. So the rise of the creative class, the rise of you, the entrepreneurs, is natural. So we are in the new age where, as an entrepreneur, you don't know what is going to be the product, what is going to be the audience, who, in terms of you being an entrepreneur, needs to be in 5 years, 10 years, or 25 years, right? So this is the new way situation. And here, you have to be like career Sinbad. Okay, you need to know the navigation, but you don't know exactly where you're going to be. If you know how to navigate, you'll reach there. If you know how to, drive a car, you can drive and go anywhere. If it's Paris today, you can go there. I'm just kind of joking. Driving to Paris is not so easy, but if you want to go elsewhere, you can, because what you know, what you're equipped with, is the skill, driving. So career navigation skill is what helps you in designing the immediate roadmap. You can't think in terms of 50 years. So what you can do is that, when you're driving the car, you can see the next 200 meters. So you need to do that way to be able to define and design the next step, next step, next step, and meander through your entire career and keep on moving as the market says. Okay. So what we're going to do is that today we are going to take the first step to get into that car. Right? Excited? Uh, Before I start, all of us use a phone. So if I say the word phone, what comes to your mind? I know nobody is going to talk about those old dialed, the telephones that we're going to have. So most probably, at least, my daughter, everybody would talk about having an iPhone. So
So,
that's what happens.
Debeshi, if I may, so when you ask
Yes.
the question, what comes to your mind when we
Mhm.
hear the word phone? So when I hear the word phone, somehow the first word that came to me was connection. It was not a brand, or it was not a landline or a kind of thing. The first thing that, probably because the way that now we have uh, I mean, probably it is because where we are in life right now, that is why the phone, it came automatically comes like, connection, because you use it to connect to people, whether it
Absolutely.
is through an app or a call or text or anything. Ultimately, it is used for connections. So I don't know, somehow that's what came to my mind.
No, that's good. So, what is a brand that you use for connection? So, like, who is giving you that connection? Right now, we are connecting over a portal by Startup Grind, right? So, what is happening? So, can you name some, like, the portals which are connecting you, which are helping you in connecting?
So, if we talk about handsets, yes, there are numerous brand names that is available. There are numerous network connections that is available. There are,
Like, if you can name some, name one in each.
I don't know. Yeah, like I guess, like you said, iPhone is the first one that usually pops up in your mind, and then there is
Right.
Samsung, and then there is, other things that follow.
Exactly.
So, but then yes, when we were younger, Nokia was probably the one where it would have popped.
Right.
15 years back,
Absolutely right.
Nokia was probably the one that would have
Yeah.
come to our mind.
And what about the connection? What about the connection? So, which
Uh,
company is providing the connection to the phone?
so I use Vodafone, so probably that's what comes to my
Got it? Yeah, right. And in terms of like, online meetings, which provider do you use most of the time?
Zoom.
Right. Got it? So this is exactly what I'm trying to say, that, when a brand is that big, it kind of replaces, becomes synonymous with the service. Got it? So when you said connection, and
Agreed.
gradually you could actually connect it to few brands. You said Nokia, you said iPhone, and then others, right? So that is how one needs to stand out in their area where they're providing the service. So when we are working on the career, our aim is also that, like, whoever we are providing this service, it should be like, we should be able to see that iPhone, and it should be that number one or the number two, right? So that is the aim with which we take our first step. It is creating, since it is a product, if you have a brand for a product, but today I'm talking about the personal brand. Yeah, with me so far, Suchi? Yeah, great. So, a couple of things that what we do right after this is find the career keywords. Now, what I mean by career, it's a term that I use. What I mean by career keywords, it's typically, understanding. If you are an entrepreneur, then you cannot be doing n number of things, right? So, what is your niche? Okay. And there are many videos, there are books, like, how to find your niche. For me, it's two things. One, a problem that I have faced and I want to solve. For example, like, I've seen somebody going through some medical issues and I've seen it, I've witnessed it. It's alive for me. And, the motto of my life would be to solve it. Okay, which is live, an issue in the world, which is live, which is palpable for you. Okay, and there is not a provider in the market. You've felt the pain. So don't Google and try to find a pain point. Okay, if there is some pain point that you've already felt, that is your greater area for niche. So it can be health, it can be wealth, education, whichever area. So you're somebody who couldn't get scholarship to go out, and maybe education and scholarship is the niche that you would be, alive, you would be excited to work on, because you have faced it. So don't work on a niche which is given by the internet, that there is so much of funding. Yeah, the excitement will die out. Okay, so get something which is close to your heart. Second, like, in education, content marketing, IT, there are so many. So look into your life to find the area where you're uncomfortable and you have the pain point. Once you have that, there are a lot of competitors. You'll go online, somebody must have already done it. Yes, that's true. But within that bigger canvas, you need to find your tiny white space. What I mean by that? For example, in healthcare, you've seen that, somebody, like a lot of people, children are going through stress, or you've seen your dad going through stress and not being able to sleep well. So it's health and wellness. Like, health is the greater area, then wellness, and the white space is sleep. Are there enough solutions in the market, the apps, but are they really taking care of sleep? And is there a specific kind of problem in sleep, uh, you know taking care of it without medication, taking care of it without something that you are looking forward to? And how much is the competition? So the key thing is, like, you can make yourself a micro level expert of an area in that bigger space where the competition is low. Okay, so what I mean is that being first in a school where there is less competition. Got it? So that's how I have defined my niche, and I'm sharing with you. If you really want to find out, there is somebody called Siddharth Rajshekhar. He's somebody who is enabling a lot of digital coaches. You can YouTube, find his video on YouTube. He also helps a lot in finding your niche. The next place to look at would be him. I would refer that. Second thing is that once you have an idea, yes, this is what I can work for the rest of my life, right? So Steve Jobs, when he was already an icon, why did he get up and why did he work with the same amount of passion? He had the money, he was famous, he had the awards. What kept him going? It is that fire in that belly. Okay, so have a niche in that area where it keeps you going. Don't borrow it from your neighbor. Okay, because that looks fancy, that looks good, it's not going to work. Second is, who is your audience? Again, I said, like, it's going to come from your real life experience. You would know, typically, either you've worked in that industry, you'd know those people, you have seen those pain, you felt their pain. Okay, and you really need to define it. Even, like, for example, if I see sleep is a problem for so many people, do you want to help the students who are preparing for exam? Do you want to help mothers, new mothers who are not able to sleep, or you want to help busy professionals? Pinpoint. You can't do it with the first step, cannot be with everyone. So pinpoint one audience with whom you can relate to. Okay, that's the second. Third is that, now, while all of this is happening, who are you? So a lot of people kind of say, I'm a digital marketing professional. That doesn't mean anything. I can't see anything. I don't know what you're doing. So position yourself in a way that, are you a coach? Are you a freelancer? Are you a growth hacker? Are you a mom entrepreneur? Are you a solo entrepreneur? Are you, there are so many terms, okay? And they are accepted in the industry right now. So position yourself, who you are, to the world, okay? Now, when these three things are, and you're not going to get it in one shot for sure, but go out and frame your brand statement, okay? And it'll change with time, but the first one has to be out there. Without the first step, you can't, like, reach Paris. So me and my daughter are very excited about Paris. So you'll find me sharing about Paris. I've been to Paris many a times. Okay, so here's one example that, hi, I'm Nisha Yadav. You can replace it, template which can replace it with your name. A mom entrepreneur who coaches mothers, to lose weight without exercise. Okay, so you can replace Nisha Yadav with your name, mom entrepreneur with coach, professional, freelancer, whatever that you're doing. And what is that you do? Your target group, and what exactly the tiny white space that you have, that you can do. So right now, if you are watching this video, pause it for some time and drop a comment, okay? And I would love to see that and can get back to you, right? Yeah. So if you want to do the exercise, you can pause and and come back. So once you have this statement done, it's very important to have this statement go out in the world, because if you just draw Mona Lisa and keep it in your studio, it's not going to work. You have to put it out for exhibition. You have to share it in the world. And here, I want to give you a very interesting perspective why I'm sharing that. Okay. Uh, Most of you must be understanding how the real estate works, right? You buy, if you have some money, you buy land now, and later on, like you build a house, or you invest, right? It's considered real estate as an invest. So similarly, in digital world, it's a land grabbing happening right now. So if your brand statement, okay, if who you are and contents with that brand statement is going to Facebook, it's going to different social medias, digital platforms, right? You are slowly doing the land grab in terms with your your brand statement. Got it? So with, I'll tell you how also you do it. So it's very important to define it the way I said, like go to hashtag grow numeric give, you will find me. Okay, that's my land grabbing, and there are many ways to do it. But before you do that, you need to know who you are. What's your story? What's your brand story, right? uh, this is an old screenshot, but see, it's like 3900 result, which pops up if you Google my name. Right now it's 12,000 something, right? So this is what I mean. So the search engines like Google search engines, and there'll be many things in the future, you need, and it's not just digital. Okay, people are going to meet you in networking, people, and they will remember with that land, that statement. So when I meet people, like they say, hi, I'm Debeshi Chakraborty, I used to design smart cities, but now I'm designing smart citizens. People remember it. In my story that I shared, people typically remember Gandhiji. People typically remember Mother Teresa. Okay, so this, the entire story, the entire brand statement is designed in such a manner that it is there in people's memory, digital and real, both. And in future, if we have other modes, the same process works. So these are some of my career profiles where it's consistently career story coach, executive coach, career story coach, award winning career story. It's repeated because you also need brand recall. Okay, and you have to have your own profile. If you see Instagram, it's like it's graphic version of me, and others I'm kind of wearing similar type of clothes, right? Even if now also I'm wearing a kind of a summer jacket and a dress, so that's my signature style. Visually also that has to be reflected. Okay, so yes, we are done with the first part. It is designing your career and how we can do. I'll do a quick recap. What you need to do is design your brand career statement, and I've given you some pointers, and you need to share it in the digital world. Now, the second part is where I'm going to share two secrets. Okay, and these are the elements of the career design toolkit. The first secret is, obviously there is a huge data war which is going on. Like everybody's busy, 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 busy. There are webinars, webinars, webinars. Where do I go? I don't know. I'm lost. Within that, how is somebody going to find you? Within those 100 emails which are coming, why would somebody open the email that you have, shared? Why would somebody look at your post? Why would somebody, like in a room of 100 people, the CEO will come and sit next besides you? Why amongst 100 speakers in a conference, somebody will choose your session? While out of 100, websites, your thing, Google will, rank in the first page. All of this why is very important, if to know, like I'm going to tell you the secret around it. It's very important to stand out, and our attention span is falling. So this is the data of 2016, where it says 8 seconds. And right now, I don't want to disappoint you. All of you already must be thinking, okay, Divishi, what else? What else? It's 3 to 4 seconds. Okay. So whenever you meet somebody for the first time, that's why I told share this story. You can forget everything about the presentation. You won't forget Mother Teresa and you won't forget Gandhiji, right? So that's the brand I've already created in the first 8 seconds, first, couple of seconds. Same thing that you need to do. People might not purchase your product. People might not, do in the first interaction, close a deal, but they would remember you as a brand and your brand story. And that's the first step towards having a relationship, right? Yeah. So don't think that, don't give them an essay. Now, the second secret is okay, so there's a quiz. I typically ask people, how many threes are there? And I count 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Yeah, there are 7 threes. Now, you would see that, within 8 seconds, or it takes a little longer to figure out how many threes, but this is faster. Within 1 or 2 seconds, you find it. So, actually, there is 1/50th. The difference between understanding the data between both is 1/50th times, right? So, visuals, whenever you are using visuals, I'm not getting into the science around it, it relates to the way we are designed. The data understanding time slashes. Okay. So to win the 11, 8, whatever 3, 4 seconds were, you need to use visuals to reduce the data understanding time. So everybody remembers who was there in the Jodha Akbar movie, but nobody remembers which year Akbar ruled India, right? We don't remember. History was boring. Hrithik Roshan Aishwarya was a good movie, right? So if you want to be remembered like that hit movie, you have to use visuals, right? Yeah. So even in Google, the first line is data. After that, image, videos, visuals, right? So the key is you have to show whatever is your brand story that you're creating, whatever that you want to say, you have to show. Just telling is not going to work. That's the way, we are having a PowerPoint presentation. I could have shared the entire thing verbally. You won't remember. Okay, so when you know that we have to design a career, it should be like an Apple phone, like a Gucci bag, and we can define somewhat our first career brand statement. And we know that, we have to stand out and in the 8 seconds war and use visuals. How do we do it? Like, all this sounds great, Debeshi, but how do we do it? So let me help you by understanding a little bit of the action plan. So again, the first thing that I would ask all of you to do it is do a health check. Now, when I say a health check, I don't mean going to a doctor. There's nothing medical happening over there. I'm going to do an operation without using any medical procedure. So, the health check of your digital career profile, typically. Okay, for an entrepreneur, right now the social media platform which is going to give you high level leads are going to be LinkedIn. B2B business, even B2C business, high value leads are going to come from LinkedIn. It's if you are a digital marketer, if you are selling any digital real all kind of products which are there for jobs, for personal branding, for being a coach, for selling content, for being a consultant, LinkedIn is the go-to place right now. Facebook is a little bit congested. The ads are a little expensive. Instagram stays the favorite for it's actually changing pattern for people who are a little bit entertainment based, right? Here, other than that, Google is always there. You need to have your profile, do the SEO, write the blogs, and get it up. It takes time. The fastest way, if you want to take the first step should be LinkedIn. Okay, so and there are other media platforms. And if you're not going digitally, like not going digitally is not the option, And with digitally, you should also work with your WhatsApp. And since you can't do face to face, do Zoom meetings. Your first level connections, the real relationships, they are also equally important. Okay. And it is where you're going to do a health check, right? And yeah, that's a caricature version of me. So I love experimenting with my profile. And I do a series called Career Stories, and people know me for that. So Google your name. The first health check that I want all of you to do is pause this video and Google your name. And mind it, do it from incognito mode. Don't do it where you are logged in, because any which ways then you're going to come first. Or ask your friends or ask somebody to Google your name. Okay. So once you Google your name, you would be seeing, like, if LinkedIn is not coming at the top, like LinkedIn, even if you're not using LinkedIn for business, it is like the professional digital passport. Somebody who doesn't exist in LinkedIn is a fictitious person. Okay. So it becomes a part of a lot of corporate review. It's a kind of a checklist. Got it? So your LinkedIn is a complete profile, an authentic profile, and I'll tell you how to do that. Is very important to declare, hello, I am a real professional, whether you do any kind of business. So your first should be LinkedIn. And if you see that, it clearly states my brand statement, award-winning career story coach, mentor CHRO, CEOs for video interviews, blah, blah, blah. So it has changed, by the way. But, even if you Google, like, top career story coach, top career coach, executive career coach with Gurgaon region, I come in the first page. Got it? I haven't done any SEO around it. It is just LinkedIn. Okay. Now, you might be shocked with the results. Don't feel sorry about it. But if you're coming on the first page, if your LinkedIn is coming, awesome. The second thing is that go and do an image search. So when you do an image search, do you see your photographs coming in? Like, I have an uncommon name, but a lot of people have like Pooja and Komal. So it's very important. Komal Sharma, Pooja Sharma. So it's very important to have your name stand out. The way to do it is that in all the platforms, add that brand keyword. So if you go to my LinkedIn, which I'll show you, it says the URL is not just Debeshi. The URL is Debeshi Career Story Coach. So in all the profiles have it, Pooja Yadav, brand expert, digital expert, something unique, the name that you have added. So we did the sleep coach, Pooja Yadav, sleep coach. Okay, add that so that it when people are searching with those keywords, your profile comes up. Only Pooja Yadav is not going to help, right? Yeah. So give very clear, your career keywords can't be long. You just can't say something like, so my tagline is, I say, I design your inner hero, but that's not my keyword. Got it? So that's what I offer, but that's not my keyword. So you have to actually understand what the world needs and define your career keyword so that in 8 seconds you are popping up. If somebody is there in a party, okay, I need a sleep coach, that name pops up, right? This is how it's going to be. So when I'm searching, if somebody's searching on on LinkedIn, and if I find all this profile, I cannot make out, like, attended National Institute of Patna, but what has this person done? I have no clue. So you need to write like field marketing representative at Go Graduates. In LinkedIn, you really need, in the tagline that you have shared, you need to write clearly. If somebody is sending me a connection request, if you don't have a pic and if it's not defined, I'm not going to take your connection. Okay, nobody is going to network with you. As an entrepreneur, networking is highly crucial, right? So if you can see the 3 profiles which are there on LinkedIn, the first one, second one, I'm still not clear. And if you see my profile, the banner clearly says I design careers for students and professionals. And I'm a coach, I'm a career mentor, I'm a consultant. It clearly says, and my gold medalist, Commonwealth, all the things, smart cities, all the keywords are up there clear. Within 8 seconds or within couple of seconds, people will know, yes, I want to do business with you. I want to have a relationship, professional relationship with you or not. Yes or no, both are fine. Maybe doesn't work, right? Yeah. So yes, so it's, I think it's an area specific search which comes. You can see the same thing which I shared. Now, knowing all of this is a little overwhelming. Lot of information, lot of new information, lot of new age information, because I always say I'm interested in coaching people for 2040, 2050. 2020, we are done. 2025 also doesn't excite me. So I want to help you in taking the first step. So let's start. So first action. First action is define the brand story. But defining it is not going to help unless you share and test it. So you go to 5 people whom you trust, your friends, your ex-colleagues, your significant one, and share it with them. And they'll give you a feedback. Not really that great. You need to do it with minimum 5 people. Okay. And obviously 5 posts in platforms, but do it with your people who are committed listeners first. And this is how your, if you're putting it out on LinkedIn, this is how the framework is going to be. Aspiring digital marketing expert, tech blogger with 400 views per post, or the sleep coach, the example that we talked about, right? Yeah. So have it in small keywords, very, very distinctive, because that's what is going to pop up. And you can do the same in Instagram. You can do it same in your YouTube channel. You can do the same in your Google business, when you're doing the profile. Same in the meta tag of your website. Same in your business card if you're still using that. And same when you go and speak, give your first introduction in a networking meet. This is how it's going to look like when you're doing it in LinkedIn. So feel free to send me, follow me, and send me a request. Second is that share it with a story. Okay. So when you are sharing that, you just don't say like, I'm a sleep coach. People will get very different ideas. Say I'm a sleep coach and I help busy professionals sleep well at night. You can say I'm a speedo video, have a unique name, and people say, what is that you do? I'm a speedo video consultant. I help any kind of video content delivered within 12 hours. Sounds good, right? Yeah. Nobody has heard of any speedo video consultant. It's available. I coined it. You can go ahead and use it. So while you're coining all of these, go out and get your first 10 clients. Do it for free, not a problem. Let them be your colleagues or people, or aunt, your neighbor, doesn't matter. Test it with first 10 people for free. Okay. And there is a person called Gopal Krishnan, who does a 5-day WhatsApp course. You can also check his website on Facebook, and he helps you to do it how you can do it in 99 rupees course, 100 rupees course, how you can get the first 10 clients over WhatsApp. He helps in that, right? And then you get the social proof. Ask everybody to give a testimonial. 5-star. If it's Google business, give the rating. Facebook, recommend. LinkedIn, endorse. You get the skills in LinkedIn. Ask them to endorse you as a coach, endorse you as a consultant, endorse you as a digital marketing expert, content writer, whatever is your niche, let them endorse you. Recommendation is not that needed because it's free, but endorsement sounds good, and let them connect and follow with you, right? With the dummy products, these might not be your final products, dummy products. So you can refine with the feedback, refine the products, right? So with this, all these first steps where you would reach is the transformation. What happens from after doing the first step is not linear, it's exponential. So what you see on the left hand side was my first batch, which I started with in our co-worker space, and 2016, and all of them are kind of well placed, and now people who are supporting me our CHR of PepsiCo, and all stalwarts. So this is where I'm at, and I am very much work in progress. So I invite all of you to go ahead, and you're going to have 100 failures. 100 failures you're going to have for sure. But without the first step, you're not going to have any. So a ship which doesn't leave the harbor is at the most, in the safest situation, but it doesn't go anywhere. So if you're hungry, if you want to go to Paris, if you want to take that path, if you want to be the career Sinbad, take your first step. And feel free to get connected with me over LinkedIn. Yeah, Debeshi Chakraborty, Executive Career Coach. And I keep on changing my profile, but some of the things are always going to be the same, right? And yeah, stay blessed.
Thank you so much, Debeshi. I was, listening very, very intently. So I started my entrepreneurial journey when I came to Kolkata 2 years back. Until then, I was into corporate. I was in and out of a lot of things, and I did not use LinkedIn until then. So it is also when I actually started using LinkedIn. And so 2 years back, as you said, Google your name. So I always had this fantasy, that when I Google my name, it has to pop up somewhere. So I Googled my name around 1.5, 2 years back. And of course, I was nowhere because I didn't have any content or anything out there which would connect the Google Analytics to it. So every time I used to search Suchi Sen Basu, the only thing that used to pop up is Suchitra Sen, which was very disappointing. So, but yeah, but now, when even somebody Googles Suchi Sen Basu, I do pop up, in the first. I am the first one that they can see. And as you rightly said, you should do it in incognito because, if you're doing it out of your Google account, Google automatically takes that, into consideration. So my daughter also, does this a lot of times. She will just sit there and she will Google, see, mama, your picture, see, mama, your video on YouTube. So yes, and the way that you explained was very, very useful. That how we should, how the tagline should be, how you should brand and keep on repeating the same thing so that people register and connect a few keywords to you. So I think this was one of the very, very useful workshops that I did attend. So we had a couple of people, some dropped out. So we do have someone. If you have Purav, if you have any questions, if
Question.
you want to discuss anything with Deveshi, please feel free to put it out.
You can put it on the chat box or you can
Yeah.
speak, whichever is fine.
Okay, if you do not have any questions, then
No worries. So
any
I
closing
am
remarks that you would like to add on?
right. I'm just going to leave my email ID in case, my LinkedIn, and then
Sure.
anybody can actually, uh, uh, right. Yeah. So can connect with me. So yeah, it's a pleasure for me always to share, inform and influence people. And what I did is also contributing to the digital real estate. Okay. So whoever is here right now and whoever is going to watch this video in the future, they all would be able to take their first step. And as a coach and as somebody who is, living the life for with the motto "Grow to Give," I think both of us have done our job. So we can
I hope
close our
so. I
session.
do hope so.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And thank you so much to Startup Grind for creating this opportunity. And I'm sure the future is going to be great.
Yeah, I do hope more and more people join because I mean the
Absolutely.
whole point
Yeah.
of me starting the Kolkata chapter was Like I said, when I came to Kolkata 2 years back, I saw there was so many, silos people are working in. There are so many entrepreneurs, so much of bright minds here in Kolkata. But people who have lived outside Kolkata have a very different image about Kolkata, to be very honest. They think that people are laid back, people are lazy, people don't want to do. But people are doing. The only thing is they don't, go around beating drums about it, or they don't really have the proper platform or networking to do so. So when Startup Grind, when I came across Startup Grind, I saw it as an opportunity to try and bring people together.
Yeah,
Right?
absolutely. And
Absolutely.
it's not one-time activity. A life of an
Absolutely.
entrepreneur is that, there is nothing called no, and, you have to go to the next. Whatever happens, you move on to the next, 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 next,
Yeah,
next.
and
Yeah.
like there's no specific time, there is no date, there is no weekend. In fact, probably sometimes we end up working more on weekends because we can completely focus without any other calls or emails or anything else happening. You can actually focus on what you want to do.
Right. So with that note, let's have a powerful, second half of 2021. And I'm sure, like in a couple of months, Suchi, it's going to pick up. And I'll like to see a lot of people with, fire in their
Absolutely.
belly. Yeah.
So
Thank you
do
so
spread
much,
the word.
Pura.
Yeah.
Yes, absolutely. I'll,
Thank
post
you,
the
Purav.
video.
Thank you.
Thank
I
you
hope
so
you
much.
can be with us, for our future events as well. We do have your details now, and we will keep sharing our forthcoming events. So, thank you so much,
Right.
Debeshi.
Thank you. Have a blessed evening. Yeah.
Yeah,
Bye
you
bye.
too. Have a great weekend. Bye bye.